Good evening and welcome to another edition of some Q&A. We're gonna answer some questions. You guys asked the questions. We're gonna answer the questions, and hopefully this microphone isn't super echoey because I'm in a room that's primarily sheetrock and glass and hard marble. So hopefully this doesn't echo too badly. We'll dive into a couple of topics that a lot of you guys asked about. Last time we did our first Q&A, everybody was stoked on it, so hopefully we get some more questions answered. I'm gonna scroll through them here. There's been quite a few in the comment sections, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Let's get to answering some questions. First off, the one that I have been getting asked a lot in person, on the phone, on the interwebs through the shop, is in regards to Reno Cyclocross Nationals next weekend. What tires are you gonna ride? I don't know. We're not there yet. So it's hard to say. As of right now, I can almost guarantee you it's gonna be a dry tire. But as most of you all know with cyclocross, it all depends on the conditions. So it could be dry, it could be fast, it could be wet and super sloppy. Monster truck, it could be a little bit of moisture and it gets that hero dirt conditions. I don't know. Especially since I'm driving, I'm gonna take the full quiver that I normally do. When I fly, I unfortunately have to limit it. I can only take 6 sets of wheels with me. Those 6 sets are usually 2 dries, 3 sets of muds, and then either a training set for when I'm on the road or a third set of dries to have as a spare. If I'm not gonna be training, it's strictly a go-to race weekend. But going up here, I will take the new tracers. I have a couple of sets of the old tracers. There still are some conditions that those work pretty well in. The new Terras, and we'll see what it requires from up there. We shall see. It looks like a little bit of rain early this week. The rain's supposed to be coming tonight or tomorrow as well here. So let's hope for the best. But as far as tires go, I don't know if I can answer that yet. Kevin asks, it looks like the feedback sprint repair stand that you use quite often. Can you give plus or minuses versus the elite stands? It looks like a lot of pro riders use the sprint stand. Is it easier for cleaning the bike, more stable? Giving upfront brake adjustments with the sprint stand seem tricky. So Kevin, yes, that is the feedback sprint stand. I also have a elite plus or elite pro stand as well. It just depends on what I'm working on and where we're going, what we're doing. I use the sprint stand primarily for road and cyclocross bikes, and then I use the elite stand for mountain bikes. Very stable. It is superior for cleaning, but some of those mountain bikes get to be kind of a little bit long. But I really dig it for cleaning and generally working on it as well. It's kind of always been referred to as like the Euro stand. It's kind of 6 in one, half dozen the other. Pick your favorite. I've got both, but I do tend to use the sprint stand more. So I guess that would mean I'm kind of falling, more towards that side, the liking of that one. But both are really, really good. So I actually get this, it makes me laugh. Not because the person asked it, but because of the backstory of it. So I get asked a lot, what is the brand of the flannel that I ride in a little bit, and what I ride on the Boundless Locomotion guys. Funny because my dad also has one that we had kinetic embroidered on it, and he gets all the compliments on that particular flannel that he wears. And the funny story is that we bought those at Old Navy for like $2 to do the flannel grinder with last year. My buddies at the Boundless Locomotion posse were like, you gotta come in a flannel. So we rushed down there, we got these like inexpensive flannels. They seriously were like $2. But both of those are by far the most talked about pieces. But they work pretty killer. They're a little bit on the mountain bike hipster side of things, but hey, that's right, it's the in thing, right? Scrolling through, I've seen a lot of questions about clothes. If you haven't, go back and watch 2 days ago's episode about layering. And I'm also gonna talk a little bit later on in this video about wearing the leg portion of that and temperatures, but go check that out. We cover everything from 60 degrees down to 30 and below. So go check that out for clothing and layering and what I wear in those temperatures. More interested in race time layering. So in regards to the clothing pieces that we have talked about before, racing, I was going to include in the video we just did, but it gets to be kind of personal preference and what you feel comfortable with and your tolerance of being cold. I can tell you that probably down to about 50 degrees, I will wear a short sleeve skin suit, like absolutely. Usually not a base layer, sometimes a sleeveless summer base layer like we talked about. Below that, we're gonna be diving into always a long sleeve base layer. So in that like low 50s to 40s and down, and actually, well, anything below that, that's gonna be a long sleeve skin suit and a sleeveless summer base layer until you get it to about 40-ish, 45, like low 40s going into 30s. That's gonna be a winter base layer and then the long sleeve skin suit. Since we're on this topic, let's also talk about apparel for the leggings. Question number 1, do I use embrocation? Do I recommend embrocation? What's the skinny on that stuff? No, I don't use it. I think it's kind of a placebo effect. It seems like you rub that on your legs and it doesn't even work, and then 3 hours later when you're in the shower and it's hot, you get super hot. So I think it has a temperature release in it, and you really need to be in a warm environment for it to sort of release its next question in regards to leg coverings. Do I use knee warmers? No. If it's cold enough, yet again, I'll just wear full leg warmers. Like, that much of your skin difference doesn't bother me too much. Just knee warmers don't really look as pro as leg warmers. And if you look good, you feel good, you ride good, why not look good and rock the leg warmers? So the temperature cutoff for me with leg warmers is probably in the 55-degree range. I don't believe that it's like that strict 60 degrees, you gotta cover your knees thing, but you definitely are gonna want to when it gets colder. Normal leg warmers down to about 50, about high 40s, mid 40s. Below that, then we're gonna switch to those Aqua Zero leg warmers like I have, regardless of if it's wet or not, because they're a little bit thicker. It'll give you some extra insulation. And then also another question here, Whitewater 11 asks, when would you wear tights as opposed to leg warmers? I actually never wear tights. I do wear overpants occasionally when I'm pre-riding for the cross races and it's wet and muddy. That's like an extra. I wear my bib shorts, my leg warmers, and then put a pant over that. More of like a splash pant. It's not really a tight. I don't wear like full body leg tights with or without a chamois. I don't do that. So I think that's gonna wrap up another question and answer session. This is number 2. I know you guys like them. If you've got more questions, always ask below and I will answer them as best as possible. And if you got questions about random things that we haven't even talked about, shoot them to me and I'm sure I can get you answered and do the best that I can. With that, it's gonna be over and out for the day. We will see you guys tomorrow, and the weekend's almost here, baby. All right, have a great day. We'll see you guys then. Over and out. Peace. I forgot to hit record.